Welcome back. I have a gentleman here from the Kentucky Department of Education, Rob Akers, and you're Associate Commissioner dealing with licensure. What is your exact title and what do you do at the Department of Ed?
Sure. I'm in the Office of Educator Licensure and Effectiveness. So what that encompasses is everything from teacher recruitment to teacher development to teacher retention. We have teacher certification, and we work on accreditation of our educator prep providers at our colleges and universities.
Okay. Well, it's neat that Kentucky is hosting a summit on dealing with an element of that with micro-credentials and competency-based professional learning. So what is the value of micro-credentials?
Well, as I see it, the micro-credentials are huge for helping teachers to tailor their professional learning. It gives them so much more flexibility to dive deeper into their own problems of practice and to, instead of taking a wide range of courses that may be very general in nature, it's really that granular work on improving their practice. And that's really meaningful to teachers. For way too long, and I know this is a national issue, professional learning has kind of been the sit and get shotgun method, and you hope something catches, unless you can fund for teachers to go to their individual national conferences where they can really dive deep. It's been hard to bring that type of learning opportunities to teachers, and so the micro-credentials really open up the gate for teachers to be able to get much more valuable in the classroom learning with their kids.
So for the general public who may not quite understand the teaching profession, what goes on in the classroom, how our research has changed in terms of how people learn, what are the value of professional learning for teachers and K-12 leaders?
Well, professional learning really pushes on the idea of the continual improvement model or continuous improvement, where we're pushing our kids to get better every day. We are faced with more diversity in our learners, more issues that our kids bring in, and the only way to have a teacher be able to try to begin to meet any of those needs is to do the same things for them, is to give them a variety of opportunities to expand their professional learning. Not every teacher needs to grow in the same area, and so you may have a teacher who is fantastic at planning and assessment and putting together great standards-based units, but maybe not so great at classroom management and needs that extra study. And this is where the micro-credentials and that personalized competency-based learning enables a teacher to pursue that kind of learning to get better on the individual task. That teacher wouldn't enjoy sitting through a lesson planning seminar, but you may have another teacher who really is great with kids in terms of can control them and have them ready to learn, but maybe doesn't know how to plan to deliver it. And so you flip the script that way.
And again, I think from people I've talked out to the general public, a lot of people don't understand really all the extra work that our teachers and our education leaders in K-12 have to embrace if they're going to get better and better serve students.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you think about our teachers who have to meet the needs of every individual kid that comes in, and it's funny, we've used kind of the same model for teaching that we have for professional learning. You kind of throw something out there that you hope works in general with the population, but the downside to that is you don't get everybody. And so that we're starting to treat our teachers the way we want our kids treated in terms of how they learn, I think is a really important development in how we go about professional learning, because as our teachers understand how they learn and how they can develop their strengths and address some of their weaknesses, they can do the same things with their students moving forward. And unless you've been in a classroom, it is just impossible to understand what all our teachers carry with them. They're heroes in my book, and this just gives them some extra tools to be able to make their lives better and their kids' lives better, because they can dive into learning about the things that will make them better.
Yeah. And as we know, our society is changing. Special challenges are, unfortunately, the opioid crisis in the nation and in Kentucky has severely impacted families. And then you have a lot of young kids that were born addicted, basically. So I assume for even teachers, this creates a special challenge for them in the classroom.
There's no doubt about it. When you think about the number of kids who are in schools now with diagnosed mental disease, social emotional issues, trauma, dealing with the things at home that schools have no control over, they're really having to work really hard during the day to give the kids the tools and the skills to really kind of transcend that environment and those issues. So our teachers care more than probably anybody can possibly imagine when they see students coming from those areas, and they want to give them those tools to get out. And we have areas in our state where teachers know that they're trying to prepare students so that they can leave home and leave even the region so that they can have a better life.
So for a person that's thinking about going in the teaching profession in the state of Kentucky, what advice would you give them?
Well, first I would say, come on, we need you. Your kids, the kids need you. My advice would be to really come at it with a servant's heart and with that same lifelong learning mentality that you want your kids to have, and to understand that you're working with whole kids. It's not sufficient just to teach a content. You have to be ready to teach the whole student.
Yeah. And if a person's had a professional career, but they have a passion of working with young people, want to mentor someone to have a better quality of life and have a very good career in the future, what are some options for people like that to get into the teaching profession?
That is a great question, because there are a lot of folks out there who are exiting their professions and still have a lot to give. In fact, sometimes they have even more to give than the young folks do because of their life experiences. And so there are several options out there in Kentucky beyond just your normal go into college and to your ed prep provider and take 4 years of school and get your degree. We have 8 different options outside of that in Kentucky that we use. We have some that we can use exceptional professional experience and may be able to get you straight into a classroom with a certification. We have some that would maybe just mean another class or two, and some that are a boot camp model. So anyone who feels like they wanted to teach but they never did, and they're at a point in their lives where they want to, we can find a way to get you certified. And we really want people with great life experiences who are passionate about giving back to kids in our classrooms.
Okay, great. Well, Rob, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being on our program, and thank you for being at the summit.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.